guys, welcome to another episode of Nighttime Out. I'm Jess and I'm here with my co-host Ima. So in our episode today, we're going to talk about the Pixar movie Soul. So before we kind of go in depth about the movie, I just want to say this is definitely one of my favorite movies of 2021. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. And before you proceed though, we're gonna have a lot of spoilers of the movie. So if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. You'll have a great time, you'll enjoy it, alright? So before we start, I think we should explain the premise of the movie, right?
That's a given.
So, let's start with the main character. So it follows a middle school music teacher called Joe Gardner, who has a dream to become a jazz musician. So he wants to perform in a big stage. And he became very close to achieving his dreams. But he unexpectedly died in an accident. And he goes to the great beyond. And Joe, he was not ready. He was not ready to give up his dream. Because he was so close in achieving it. So he escapes from the great before, where he meets an unborn soul called 22. So just to explain what is the great before is where unborn souls get the qualities to become a human. So they each have a pass they have to complete to become an earth pass, but which then they are allowed to go to earth and become a human being. But to complete their earth pass, they need to find the spark. So it could be anything at all to complete it. So going back to the character 22, clearly the number, they have been in the great before for a long time, but has no desire to go to earth at all, like not at all. They team up with Joe Gardner, who has been assigned to become her mentor. So they team up, they come up with a plan, but then a few things happen, and then they ended up on Earth. But instead of Joe going back to his own body, 22 ends up going to Joe's body and learns to live a life as a human being on Earth. So through that experience, 22 has a chance to experience life. And Joe learns a few things about life as well. But we're gonna discuss more in detail. It's a very wholesome movie. I recommend it to any age. Me personally, I have cried multiple times watching this movie. So if you have a soft heart, maybe prepare some tissues, on the side. But before that, I want to ask Timo, did you like the movie?
Definitely. I loved it. I loved it so much that I think this is the movie that I could watch over and over and over again, but I'll still not get bored because it's just so good. It has really good life lessons, and it is in a way very relatable, I think, to most people, because this is something that we have been taught or told entire life. You must have a purpose. You need to become this very successful person. For that, you need to have a purpose. And all those gurus, telling that, oh, get rags to riches, those kind of gurus telling you that, oh, grind for your future, grind, don't sleep, don't spend time with friends who don't add value to your life, blah 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 blah, have a purpose, go for it. And I personally felt lost a lot during my high school, during my secondary school. I'm just like, wait, there's not a specific thing that I really like. So what now? Am I supposed to have a spark, a passion in life? Is that really what's necessary? I questioned that to myself a lot back then. And yeah, when watching this movie, I think about it a lot, about how we as a society have been imposed to think that living means having goal, having a purpose every time. But I think sometimes living means just enjoying the little things. Just chill down with your friends, look at the sky, look at the clouds passing by, look at the stars. I understand that the capitalism and society that we live in does put limitations there, unfortunately, but you know, sometimes, yeah, living is just more than that. And sometimes it just means to exist and have those little happy moments in your life.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of us as being adults, we can relate Joe, as a person who chases their dreams and making that passion into the purpose and meaning of their life. And we can get lost and not enjoy the best part of living. And for him, you can see that he was like struggling to achieve this dream, that he did not see all the good that he has done surrounding him. Because even like you can see like there's a scene where he sparks like a passion in one of his students, and he teaches her how to play the trombone. I don't know, that instrument. Yeah. And instead of seeing that, oh, like I could cultivate that, I could help her become this amazing musician. Like he was so caught up in his own dreams that he doesn't see so much good and happiness that he has experienced in his life. Because to him, he thinks that he has wasted all his life. He just saw his life like flash through, and to him it was such a sad scene. Like he just realized like, oh, I haven't lived at all. Like where is my life? Like it wasn't like this. He couldn't see past what he wanted to achieve.
Yeah,
And yeah.
he was kind of blinded by it, I would say.
Hmm.
He was he was only thinking in one way. Okay, my life is successful only when I become a successful jazz musician. And like what Sika said, he had done a lot of things. Like he had sparked passion in so many of his students. He doesn't see that. He has a lovely mom who and like some lovely aunts who's always there to take care of him, shower him with love. He doesn't see that. He has people that cares for him genuinely, but he was so focused on his passion that everything seemed dull. And there was this one episode. No, sorry, not one episode. There was this one uh, part in this.
Scene.
Yeah, this. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. There was this one scene in the story. What happened was, Joe Gardner. He was looking through all his old life, right? And in that one part, there was this part where he was eating the pie. And this was something I took reference from the cinema therapist video. Oh, I love them. Check them out in their YouTube channel. Yeah, they're really good. And yeah, I took reference from there. It's a very small detail, but when he looked, when he was in afterlife and he was looking through it, the past moments of his life, it looked so sad to him. But at the end of the movie, when he was rewinding, yeah, at the end of the movie, when he thought back of his life on earth, he was eating the pie again, and he was actually so happy to eat that pie. He was like, oh, this is good. So you could actually see that sometimes the perspective, he narrowed it so much down that he maybe perhaps his life was happy. We didn't get to see much glimpse of it before. Yeah, we didn't get to see much glimpse of that, but it may have been happy. But his perspective towards himself showed himself in that dim light in his afterlife, thinking that he had not achieved a lot. So that was one interesting part that I really wanted to point out. Perspectives in life, everyone has different one. So what I may consider myself to be successful may not be the same with Sika, and that applies for everyone else. So yeah, That's something that really caught my eye again.
Do you think like the movie did influence your perspective towards life?
Um, well, it definitely did, I would say. It was that additional catalyst to my already changing mindset at that time because I think rather than changing my mindset or influencing my mindset, I would say it was a reassuring hug that it's okay, that yeah, it felt more like a reassuring warm hug saying that yeah, it's okay. Passion is a different thing. You don't need to have something set in stone or something that you're obsessed about because when the time when 22 and Joe Gardner when they were both on earth, yeah, when they were both on the earth, what happened was Joe was already stressed about things. He was like, oh my god, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to go to the barber, I have to go visit my mom. Everything is like, so he was always stressing about things. But, but 22, they were just enjoying life. She was, when she saw the street performance, it was just like, oh, and they were just like enjoying it. And they enjoyed every little thing. They enjoyed the lollipop. They enjoyed going to the barber. They enjoyed every conversation. So you could see that actually 22 was living more at the moment rather than Joe. And that is something that's reflected in my life a lot as well. Because I'm always like, oh, I need to get this other thing done. I need to get this other thing done. And there's always something left to be done. The work will never end. In school, you're like, okay, you can chill when you go to uni, but in uni, you're like, okay, you can chill when you finish, graduate, and get a job. And when you get a job, you're like, okay, you can finish when you complete or hit that target. So there's always something to it. So I really like how 22 was enjoying her life, and which I am trying to impose in my life as well. To live in the moment, to enjoy life, to take a break, and not to be running all the time or chasing things all the time. What about you? What was the part that changed your perspective?
Oh, well, there's a lot. But I think it's quite similar to yours. Like, it does give a good reminder to be like 22. Just live your life. Just stay living. Live in the moment. Appreciate the sky. Appreciate breathing. Appreciate the smell of bread in the morning. Like, things like that is so important because you realize that small moments like this build up to become the big moments in your life. And well, there's this scene, right, of when Joe goes and visit his mother, and at that time he was in the cat's body, and 22 is in Joe's body. But at that scene, he told his mother why it was so important for him to achieve this dream. And he was like explaining like, this is my life's purpose. This is all I can think about. And I was, oh my god, that scene got me in the heart. I think I like bawled out. I was like, I was like, same. I was like, oh, okay. And his mom like realized like, oh, that's how important it was for him to do this. But because of that, he didn't see the big picture, right? He didn't see why he shouldn't be fixating on that dream forever for his life. Because once he achieved that dream, once he played on this big stage with Dorothy Williams, he realized it wasn't up to his standards, and he couldn't have that fulfillment that he thought he would have. Because of that, he you can see like that was it. Like, he kept saying that, wasn't there more to this? It was kind of relatable, because I think what Tima has said, like, in our life we kept chasing goals to be successful. Like you said, like, to be successful we have to complete school, complete university, get a degree, get a job. There's always this thing we have to chase towards. And we forget to just be living and have the interaction around people. Enjoy music. Enjoy the little things in life. So yeah, that this movie definitely gave me like a reminder to just slow down, enjoy the journey. Don't be focused on a goal at the end. Don't be focused on the finishing line, because the journey is the best part in life, you know. So it did bring up, like, it exposed like the purpose of life, the meaning of life.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, purpose does not give meaning to our life. We give meaning to the purpose.
Hmm.
So,
Yes, so true, so true. Clap for that.
yeah. So, it's okay if you don't have a very specific purpose now, because that is entirely up to you. Just because someone is on the 100K marathon doesn't mean that you have to go do that as well. Your purpose may be just to breeze through life. And to be honest, as I grow every day, I find that is the goal that I want to live. That is the goal that I want to achieve as well. So it's okay, it's completely okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one point that Sika also mentioned here was like Joe, after performing with the in the dream stage, he was like, okay, what next? And there was this scene. What happened was, before, when he was with 22 in the train, everyone was looking so grumpy. They looked tired, and they just looked, easily annoyed. They were just going through their everyday routine lives, and yeah, just taking the subway back home. And he told 22 that, yeah, subway does it to some people because they're living in a routine. And Joe always thought that he would be different. He thought that he has a spark and he has a passion, and he would be different from those people doing that normal day-to-day job. And that's why also, although his profession as a teacher was very meaningful, he saw that normal routine job as something that takes his passion away. He always thought that there was more to it. So he waited so much, and he took the same subway back home. He looked around, people were all tired. And I think that's the part when he realized that, oh, so this is part of living the dream as well. The routine, the normalcy, or I don't know what the word, it is a part. Because even when he was in his dream stage, what he's gonna do is he's gonna come the next day, he's gonna play it all over again and make a performance. So no matter what you do, even if you're in a dream job, there will be certain routines at some point of your life. So yeah, so there's gonna be routine anyway. So why not make that routine fun? Why not enjoy that routine? Because it is the little things that may make your day better, that may break you down. So just leave. And I don't know why. I think in our generation they had a lot of those things. Oh, people will always like, oh, I don't think I can ever do a routine work. Yeah, I think there was a certain trend in our generation. People would be like, oh no, I want to be entrepreneur. I want to be a businessman so that my life is more, fun, more different. But even in those days, there will need to be a certain routine. Otherwise, it may be slightly different, but there will always be a certain routine in everyone's journey. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes we have to come to acceptance that, yeah, it is part of life.
But you have to think about it, right? Our jobs are our constants in life. Whichever, like job, school, there is always constant in life. But our journey, whether that's a transportation on the subway, you will always find things that are much more interesting than your job. I'm a busy.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Like, I have met quite interesting people and seen interesting things on the subway, which makes my life more interesting. Okay, so that's why, your job, your dream, whatever it is, don't make that the only thing that is your focus on life. You should focus the rest of the living. Like, because, to 22, and that same subway scene, she found so many interesting things. She enjoyed every single part. She enjoyed music. She enjoyed the people around her. Like,
they enjoyed it.
They enjoyed it. Yeah, sorry. They enjoyed it.
No.
So, yeah, we should be reminded to do this in our life as well. And because of that, right, we do learn a few things in life where we kind of keep it to ourselves, and we should be our reminder, I guess, in finding our quote-unquote purpose or meaning of our life. So do you have like a mantra or quote or something that someone told you and you're gonna be like, yes, I'm gonna remember this for the rest of my life?
Well, that's deep. A lot of things, a lot of quotes, but there are two main quotes I think that that I use a lot to motivate myself. And one was, I forgot the exact words, but it's in Korean, and what they say is, if you work hard today, there will be happiness tomorrow, or something like that. Gatin gute nakin unba. I'm not sure if I'm even saying it right, because this was something I used during my high school, because I really wanted to score some papers back then, and it was tough, so I used this quote to motivate myself, saying that it's okay, the struggle is fine, because you'll find happiness the next day. It is okay. And yeah, this is something I use. And the other one is my favorite one from the Fantastic Beasts series. Worrying makes you suffer twice. This I try to keep this as a reminder for myself in places that I can see, because when you're chasing for something your entire life, I to be honest get worried. What if things doesn't work out? What if I have to change my plan? What if everything goes terrible? And sometimes I think to myself, but it hasn't gone terrible yet, and I already have a backup plan. Why do I have to be so much obsessed and so much worried about things? And even if it has happened, there's not a thing that I could change, because there are so many things outside of your control. So I keep this as a reminder to myself. When I am worrying about something, it's just me suffering the scene twice. And no, I worked hard. I don't deserve that. and and even in our own peer counseling group as well, we used to use this mantra to ourselves, saying that, yeah, worrying makes us suffer twice. Let's focus on the solution, the process, rather than the end result all the time.
I agree. I like the second quote. We tend to obsess on the bad parts of life, and we shouldn't do that, because like okay, you can worry, you can experience the emotions that you are experiencing in that moment, but don't let it take over the rest of your day, because that's just it's just negative energy all around you, and you do not want to be in that negative bubble all your life now.
Correct.
Yeah. So for me, there are a few, but my favorites are, well, this is a new one, but I really like it. You know how like people say, what is the rock in your life that makes you move on or make life easier? To me, the answer to that is small pebbles makes my big rock. Yeah. So basically, what that means is small moments in life, small people around you that makes you happy, or you make people happy, that makes your life meaningful, are the ones that make your whole life. And it's also, well, it doesn't have to be people as well. It's just appreciating going on a walk, going outside, looking at the trees, listening to the birds, and even the bad parts, like riding on the subway, that is not really that fun, but it's part of life and it makes my entire experience, you know? That's one of my favorite quotes lately that I'm probably maybe getting a tattoo of that one day, who knows?
Ooh.
But that really hit me because it's very true. Like, life is just living. You can't,
Mm.
again, like, you can't choose a purpose to make it into your life. You won't live that
Mhm.
way. Yeah,
Mhm.
you won't live a happy life or fulfilling one, you know? And there's like
Yeah.
a scene in the movie as well, you know, of the barber. Like, his dream was to become a veterinarian, but that didn't work out. So he became a barber. But regardless, he's still so happy with life. He finds so much fulfillment with talking with his clients and with his people around him. He makes so much memories and makes his life so much more better. Even though it wasn't part of his plan, he was still very happy with his choice. And I think we should take that in our life as well. If it doesn't work out, it's fine. Let's move
True.
on. Let's live life and be happy.
There is always something else you could do, and there is always something else that will make you happy as well. And it's funny how sometimes life moves in a strange way, to be honest. Like sometimes you're not expecting thing. Like you may fail in certain thing, but then suddenly a new path forms. Somehow it makes you even more happier. And I really agree to your point that little things really make the difference. Because if you think about it now, what is something that you're most nostalgic about? You don't think about big achievements. You don't think about that. You think about the time you spend with your closed ones, your loved ones. You think about the little food you made, like like the food party you had together. You think about the little walks you guys had together, the little getting lost that you had. So you can already tell that it's not the big things. Maybe to some, yes, it does matter, and it's okay if it matters to you. But to some, it's just little things. It's coming home and just seeing your cat there. Yeah, it is a
Yes.
little thing. Yes, because like yes, my apple.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
My little
Hmm.
cat.
So it's all those little things, and Joe Gardner, we could see the change in him. Uh, because when he was telling his mom about his passion and wanting to go, he told his mom, "If I die tonight, I feel like I wouldn't have amounted to anything." And that is the pressure, and that is the um, level of success he set on him, on his life. But after he finally, everything happens and he gets to come back and live again, he told himself, "I'm gonna live every moment of it." So you could see that change of, you know, letting yourself live and not being limited or closing yourself in that circle of your own obsession for certain things.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Live freely, bird fly, fly, bird fly, like that.
Oh, little birdies, please
Mhm.
fly and live your life. Talking about Joe, it took him dying to realize, like, what am I doing with my life? And for us, were there any points that you think you had that realization, like, what am I doing with my life? Am I living, or am I just moving along?
That is a very, very deep question. Let me think. I think there were a lot of points in my life that I felt like that, especially when I did not have a break. and I was just like changing one thing over another. Okay, assignment done, next event, next meeting, next this. Oh my God, I hated final year. It was terrible. It was very
It's all
terrible.
coming out
Yeah,
now. Yeah,
well, the
it's all coming out
resentments.
now.
Yeah, yeah. I think there were points. I think this is mainly during my final year because I had a lot of commitments and final year the paper and all those assignments were like dragging me down to hell or whatever that they call it now, maybe a university. So I did feel like, okay, what am I doing with my life? Where am I heading with this? But usually for me personally, what motivates me is why I chose to do certain things. Yeah, so I asked myself question, okay, uh, so I'm working on this assignment, so why am I doing this? Is there anything about this assignment that sparks an interest in me maybe? What is my priority here? So I asked myself that a lot. So sometimes the answers change. They definitely change sometimes, but it keeps me grounded. It makes me feel like, yeah, it's not a meaningless thing. And sometimes what happens is I'm going in the wrong direction. And this, when I question to myself, what am I doing in my life? Why did I start this? What was my mission? How do I want the end to be? Then it also sometimes makes me think like, okay, my priorities had changed and this is not something I want to be doing anymore, or something else serves a greater meaning to my life than this, then I pause it. So yeah, generally these questions have helped me uh, remain sane. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I think, strangely enough, when I achieve something great, is one of the moments where I think like, what am I doing with my life? Okay, it's just a little story time. Okay, in high school, right, I received a certificate having the best score in English language, which I am struggling to talk right now. But I remember being so obsessed with getting the best score of the entire, well, in the entire class, the entire year of class, that when I received it, I kind of thought like, what is this for? Why am I obsessing over this? What is this? What I wasted all the time that I have spent improving my English, learning every single vocabulary, you know, writing stories. What does this amount to? And I felt really empty afterwards. I was like, what is this for? What am I doing with my life? So that's kind of like, I realized quite early that I shouldn't do that anymore. Even though like I have done like small scale obsession on certain things, but I don't let it take over my life and my thoughts as I did before, because I realized that I was so unhappy afterwards, and it didn't do anything to me. Like it didn't fulfill the emptiness that I was feeling, that I could be this great story writer or something, even though it wasn't my dream or anything. I just was obsessed with getting the best score. And that's what happened to Joe as well. And we shouldn't do that. Like, it's not healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because other people, especially your closed ones, in most cases the parents, they set the meaning to the goal. So you feel like, yeah, it's something that you need to move through, or the peer pressure set the goal, and you're like, oh yeah, that means to be successful, I need to achieve this. That is success. Yeah, but don't worry, Sika. That vocabulary thing did work out well because now you can roast me for my pronunciations. So yeah, don't worry. So when was this? Maybe 5 6 years ago?
Yeah, 6 7, maybe more.
Yeah, maybe yeah. Okay, whatever. Yeah, yeah, whatever. 7 years later, you could still roast me. So yeah, it worked out in some way. See, it has a purpose in life. Uh,
I mean, it aided me, like, but
mm,
regardless, like, I could have not, like, I could have done better without the pressure and stress that I experienced that time,
yeah.
Because, yeah, it's
Mhm.
true though. It's a lot of it is pressure, peer pressure from like my teachers, my tutors, my parents, to because they always say
Mhm.
it's just a little bit more. It's a little bit more. You just have to work a little bit harder, a little bit harder, a little bit harder, and that's all you can think about like at that point. But then, yeah, no,
Yeah, true.
don't let it do that. Okay, don't let people pressure you like that. Okay, they don't live your life, alright? You live your life. Don't let them pressure you to live the life that they wish you had. Okay, live the life that you want to live.
Yeah, and also I think having that pressure or people put in their meaningful purpose to your life. I think what it does is it also affects the sense of identity
Oh yeah, that's true.
because I had that for myself as well. I mean, uh, I was like, okay, what am I? Am I supposed to someone I want to become? Is this something that I want to live as? Then you get confused, like, okay, so what do I want?
Yeah,
Because you're so used to people making that decision for you to make your important life choices. Then you're like, oh my God, what now? What next? What am I doing? Am I being genuine? Yeah. So
yeah,
this is something. Yeah, the sense of identity is really lost, especially when you are still in the adolescent times. You're thinking and learning everything. Yeah, it just messes people up.
yeah. Like discovering yourself.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to ask you another question.
Ask away, ask away.
What is your spark in life?
My spark.
If you had a choice.
If I had a choice, I like you had
Yeah.
it a little bit at the end. If you had that choice, my spark in life, I think to never be in the same place.
Wow. Like in terms of location, or do you think like mindset?
I think both in a way.
Oh.
That's what I think because I feel like once I stop growing, then I don't know what I'll be looking forward to. And and yeah, location wise also, if I had the finances, I would definitely love moving. Yeah,
Mm,
but I meant more towards the mindset. I hope that wherever I am, I keep on learning and there is something that I look forward to every day. I hope that, yeah, currently that is my spark and that has been working well most of the time. Most of the time. um, yeah, but let's see where life takes. Definitely stability and that pause would be good. But I hope that pause would never be long enough to keep me bored. Yeah, that I hope that I get to work on new things, learn new things, and really keep on improving myself every day because I don't know if it's a force of habit now. I think I'm conditioned to be like that. My brain releases the oxytocin and the dopamine. No, not the oxytocin. My brain releases the serotonin and dopamine when I get to learn new things. So I have been conditioned to be like that, unfortunately. And yeah, uh, I hope that life gives me the opportunity to keep on doing that. What about you?
mm, I think being creative is my spark. To create is my joy. In a lot of my life, yeah. I think it just makes. I think it's quite similar. Like it keeps my mind growing, like moving, and looking at colors makes me happy.
That means when I come to you, you'll be like, oh, this walking pile of black and white.
No, there are joys of looking at black and white, but not every day. You need some color. Like I'm not even kidding. Like sidetracking a little bit, but her closet, Dima's closet, is like 99% black. Okay, that's all she wears, and the 1% is like blue, like dark blue. Regardless,
Yeah.
like there's no other. That's like.
No, I have those neon color shirts from the marathon.
But those are free. You kept those because those are free, okay? It's not like, you made a fashion choice to wear like a neon t-shirt. It's free, alright? That doesn't count, alright? Okay. Anyways, okay, we're getting sidetracked. Going back into our topic, I find that doing anything creatively can give me purpose. Not okay. It's kind of like odd, but like I guess gives me meaning for life, not purpose, but meaning for life. Because creating, like I find it very fascinating from some, blank page turns into images or movies or videos. It gives me so much happiness because I made this from scratch, and I think that is so fun. And there's like, part of the process is like trial and error, and I can change it however I like. It's so customizable, and I like that. Like I hope I could have this in life in general, like live how I want to live and be whatever color I want to be. So yeah,
I like that.
yeah. Thank you. I made that on the spot.
Flex. Okay. But that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah. This. I don't know. The words just didn't pop up in my head. Yeah. But what I was thinking was, everyone has a different spark, and it's interesting how these sparks, when they are combined together, makes a beautiful society or beautiful place to live in.
Oh, look at that. So cute.
I made it on the spot as well.
She
I like flexing on it. I made it on the spot, girl. Yeah, but that's what I think. Because you could tell when someone is so happy in doing something. You could see it in the spark in their eyes.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really pulls you into the conversation sometimes. When someone is so passionate about something, although it's not an area that I'm very interested in, I could still listen to them go on forever and forever because they just seem so happy, seem so passionate, and that is addicting in a way.
Yeah, I agree. Because they are obsessed with their work. I mean, they are, don't make it the only thing that is what you live for, obviously. But you can see those people that just enjoys what they do, like regardless in whatever it is they are doing. You can see that they are just present, and I think it's so nice to meet those people because they are very like they evolve a lot, but they are also they are open to new adventures, and you can see that in their eyes, like they're open to experience things in life regardless if it's for them or not for them. And I'm so envious of that. I'm trying to be like that, but it's hard, man. Like being positive, I swear, is a superpower, man. Like positive people, you can say they are delusional or whatever, but I disagree. They are superheroes, and it's a powerful superpower to have. Alright, I want that superpower. Alright.
I don't know. I think differently. I think being able to be sad is a superpower in this current stage.
mm, Not too much.
Someone who could, yeah, yeah. So, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, moderately.
Yes.
Someone
Yes,
who
moderately.
can be vulnerable. I think
Oh
vulnerability is a
yeah.
strength,
Oh yes.
and being able to express yourself and release that tension, release that stress, I think that is also a huge superpower that especially during the pandemic that people could have and people had shown. And yeah, you guys are a superhero as well. Be vulnerable, be happy, be sad, but at the end of the day, have a good balance.
Yes.
That's what makes it so like that makes the life sweet, yummy.
Yes, balance. We keep going back on this balance. Maybe we should make an episode in the future about balance in life.
Yeah, for us we should.
Yeah. Coming to a close, but there's one last question I would like to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any advice that you would give to people who are feeling kind of lost in their life, Don't know what they're supposed to do with their life, don't know what purpose. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are feeling quite lost, especially during the pandemic
Mm-hmm.
or after the pandemic, What do they do now?
Mm. I think one thing I feel is that our mind is a huge place. It's an infinite place. Don't stay there for a long time. Because, yeah, it is very easy to get lost. You think, and the more you think, the more you get lost. So, what you do is you find a way to express it, and it could be in paper, it could be among friends, but have a limit of what you could be thinking all the time because it's very easy to get lost, and but only way to begin is to start doing it. And it's okay if it's not perfect. You go listen to our first episode. It
Yes.
is not perfect.
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah, and you go to a kindergarten and you see the kids handwriting. My God, although you want to call it cute, but it's not perfect. It's
Mm.
not perfect at all. So just do it. I understand that. I don't know why this message keeps it coming back as well. Just do it. Yeah, but you can't be keep staying in your mind forever.
Mm.
You have to do a action for you to begin.
Yes.
So, and to find a direction, you will only know when you do it. If it is right for you or if it's not right for you, go do it. But really, just disclaimer: not I did not mean potentially harmful things to your life. Please don't do that.
Yes.
Or your financials. Just no, not that one, not that one. I mean more towards the general things.
Mm.
Just go and try it. I recently tried painting again, and I've been a person who sketches. I'm more of a sketcher rather than a painter when it comes to art.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I've always ruined watercolor art, always. So what I did was I tried it again, and it's not the most prettiest thing ever, but I started it, so yeah, it did make me happy at the end of the day. So something like that. Um, for me also, when I was being lost in what I want to study or what I want to do with my life, what job I want to do, I always sorted out what are my priorities first. Okay, what is something that's more important to me now? And sometimes it's finances, sometimes it's freedom, sometimes it's the working hours, sometimes it's the company culture. Then I keep a list of that. Then I compare it with the skills I have that and the one that I could provide to people or the company. So that's what helped me make an uh, decision. That's why I'm in a field that is completely different out of my study scope as well at the moment. So yeah, just try things out. Just do it, and you never know if you'll enjoy it. What about
Hmm.
you?
Um, I agree with that advice. Not good advice. Every accomplishment with a decision to try. You have to try to
Mm-hmm.
get to experience things. Putting yourself out there
Mm-hmm.
is like very scary, but it's also very
Mm-hmm.
fulfilling because you get to experience the bad and the good. And if it doesn't work out, I always say it's fine because now you have a good story to tell.
Right.
Yes.
I really believe in that as well.
Yeah. So don't let it take you down. Don't let it be the only thing that is stopping you from living your life. Because regardless, you are living your life at the moment, every single
Yeah.
moment. So
Mm-hmm.
be grateful at where you are now, and if you are feeling quite lost in what you're doing, it's fine. There are always ways and people that are around you that are really happy to help if you only ask. And if there
Mm.
are nobody that you can go to, there is the internet. There is so many options now because of the internet. So go and try it out. Like, it can be literally anything you can do in your life. There's endless
Mm-hmm.
possibilities. So please don't,
Right.
yeah. So please don't let that feeling of emptiness and hopelessness be the only thing that
Mm-hmm.
is holding you back.
Okay. So that is actually very true. And also, there was this one thing that came to my mind. I had a psychology class flashback when watching this movie,
Oh.
and it was called optimism bias. We have my thing that I think you did see that during the whole pandemic as well. People were like, "Oh, it's okay. It's not gonna happen to me," and that's how everyone got infected. Yeah. So there is this thing called optimism bias where people think that or assume that the worst is not gonna happen to them,
Mm.
and it's a concept that I wouldn't get into an accident. Why should I, put the safety? Why should I put the what is this thing called?
Safety
Safety
belt,
belt?
yeah.
What is it? Yeah, I don't know why it feels so weird after saying it for after a long time. Yeah. So yeah, people have that uh, that is subconsciously there. So that is why sometimes we go through life thinking that, oh, nothing's bad gonna happen to me. For most of us, nothing's bad gonna happen to us, so we're gonna leave, so the next day is always gonna come. And I think that's what sometimes drifting us away from living every day to the fullest, because we think, oh, we take the next day for granted. It's gonna come anyway. So I think that's what Joe Gardner had as well, and he went through a whole 5 stages of denial. Sorry,
Yeah.
5 stages of grief. Yeah,
Yeah.
denial, bargaining, anger. He went through it all,
Yeah.
and it's subconsciously there. So, what I would like before we close this thing, what I'd like to say is, unfortunately, life is not as infinite as we had hoped it would be. Unfortunately, things can change anytime, and so I think the whole pandemic was also a strong example of that. I think that lots of lives have changed during this one more than a year time, and it feels like it passed very quickly, but I think a lot of us had hurtful experience during this time. So you could tell that, yeah, life is short. Enjoy your day to the fullest. And yeah, with that, we'd like to end our very, very meaningful session today. It was both of our favorite movies that we watched over and over and over again. And sometimes uh, the some of the concepts were hard to grasp at the first watch. So I hope that you would enjoy the movie as much as us and maybe perhaps derive some meaning from it. It may not be large, it may be a small thing, but I hope that the conversation we had today would be relatable to you in some way. And if it is relatable, just go and watch the movie, have fun, sayonara, and good night. Bye.